I realized
Larger? No. Oh,
his mother lives like right down the road from here. That's why he's here a lot. I recognized somewhere he was filming, so
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah,
I
he
thought Max
announced on
Kaiser
this
lived in
show
England
he may
or did he
run.
move?
He what, Shirley?
He announced on his show about a couple of months ago that he may run.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, he also talked about how, they can just say whatever they want and they just
Yeah,
all
Ed
kind of
Self said the same thing.
they kind of just scoff at it like, yeah, whatever. Everyone says that and none of us are Putin puppets. We have freedom to be critical and we could never do that on a show that has US corporate sponsors.
Yeah, because if they have people on there saying critical things about Putin, so
Mhm.
they don't get fired or anything.
Right.
And that's like on there. I found out about Cambodia, what we did in Cambodia years ago, and we gave the people money to rebuild their country. We asked them for the money back. I
Hmm.
didn't find that out. I found that out on RT. I didn't find that out on mainstream media.
Yeah, and RT, my husband noticed he had put the app on his phone for RT before I did, and he was always like he'd have the news first because they would put
Yeah,
something out before CNN or anywhere else.
they're always
yeah, me
first on
too.
Twitter. They're always first before any of the other news channels I see on Twitter.
Yeah. So I wonder where they're reporting. I don't know how that network works here. But it's too bad because it's great news. It really is. But I mean, half this country wouldn't listen to it for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Do any of you guys
Well,
watch Crosstalk on that channel?
Crosstalk. Nah, that guy gets on my nerves a bit.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I
Peter
can't.
Lavelle. The show's
Yeah,
called
now
Crosstalk.
I think he says very biased things, actually. I really do. I will
I
say
like it when AJ's on.
that was very
Yeah.
good. That was a great, yeah.
And I like watching the Hawks.
The what?
Watching the Hawks.
Oh, yes. Right. Well, Ed Schultz also does, I don't know if any of you guys catch it, but he will do Facebook Live posts, and he has a thing where you can call in.
Yeah.
it,
I
and
love
and
Ed. I loved
actually,
Ed when he was on MSNBC. And
yeah,
Obama
our,
had him kicked off because he railed against that TPP.
Yep.
and RT is one of the only places you'll get news about Hanford.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
Hanford
know?
site in Washington State. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the most polluted place in the United
Mm.
States.
Oh, have you ever listened to the Dollop on Hanford?
No.
Well, the Dollop podcast did an entire episode about the Hanford site in Washington State, and it's just really insane how poorly handled it's always been there. And then they talk about how, and this was back in 2014. I think they did this episode. It was 2014 or 2015 before Trump was elected. They talk about how whenever Bush was elected the first time, he put someone in charge of the Department of Energy who wanted to dismantle the Department of Energy, just like Rick Perry, and how he was actually like the first person to do something like that. But whenever they did that, they ended up screwing over the thousands of workers with radiation poisoning who were dying of cancer from the Hanford site because they had over 27,000 cases and they only read like 100 of them, and they only paid out like 10.
And I know guys that were, or either worked out there or lived close enough that it was like convenient. It would be really convenient. They won't work there, and and it's like one of those jobs that you take if you've been out of work for a year and you really got to feed your family. You go take a job at Hanford. That's kind of the way it is. Besides some of the guys that maybe have been there for a little while. The carpenters and the laborers and stuff that I know, even the ones that were inside of it, they said no way. So, I mean,
Why is Hanford so polluted?
Because it's got a whole bunch of radioactive materials and things that were brought there, and they have tanks, underground tanks that are now leak. They just ran a crawler through one of them right after that big cave in. They have like a robot crawler that they put in there, and it crawls around between the tanks.
Right.
And they check it, and it came out hot. And the thing is, if you look at a map where Hanford's located, everything runs from there down to the Columbia River. And the Columbia River gives water to Portland and a whole bunch of other places, north and south of the Columbia River. So everything from Hanford to the coast would be radioactive.
Yeah, 12 million people get their water from the Columbia River, right?
Yep. It's pretty bad.
So that means, like they were saying, if there was a fire or if there was to be a problem at Hanford, that they think that it would give the 12 million people around there thyroid cancer. They said they already think it's going to end up over the course of its lifetime. They think it's already given 2 million people thyroid cancer.
Yeah.
Well,
that's all it takes.
The thing about it too, you got to understand, is stuff like that it depending on how the air travels, if it gets down to the gorge, it goes straight up the gorge and towards Portland and the coast. So it would do, if the air was traveling right, it doesn't really matter pretty much what way the wind's blowing everywhere else. It'll blow straight up the gorge.
Yeah.
And it's a rare occasion. If we get a wind that's blowing the opposite direction, there's hellacious weather with it. But otherwise, it always goes the other way.
Oh. It makes me glad I'm not living there anymore. But I visited a couple times, and I took my guy with me, and after the fact, he was just like, I kind of wish I hadn't, gotten in the water, because we went up to the, Columbia River Gorge, and after the fact, when he started realizing how much radioactivity is there, he's like, I shouldn't have jumped in there.
Oh, hell. Trust me, into Columbia, I'm sure there are worse things in the Columbia than there's more. But actually, the Columbia ain't bad. The Columbia ain't bad. It's Willamette. It's
Oh, yes.
Did you guys hear about a shooting late Wednesday night? A black off-duty cop was shot by a white cop.
No, where was that?
St. Louis. The cops was pursuing a group of teens who stole a crash car, and the black off-duty officer showed up at the scene to help out. And there were other officers that knew him, but this one officer that didn't know him said he feared for his life, and he shot and injured him.
Oh, that's so bad.
Yeah.
Especially, oh man.
So where he was like in plain clothes or something, maybe?
Yeah. But the other officers that was surrounding him knew him. But the one that shot him didn't know him.
Oh my God.
Is he alive, or is he dead?
Yeah, he's still alive.
Okay.
He's just injured.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
No, I'm still,
Jesus.
I don't know. After the Philando verdict and then seeing the dash cam video, which, why did that come out public after the verdict?
Nah.
They didn't even introduce that in the trial, right?
I'm not sure. No, I think that was, I thought I read the dash cam that the jury did see that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not.
But did he have body cam on?
I don't think so. If so, they haven't released that.
That was a dash
that
cam.
would have been a really good shot.
I just think it's so evident the way he just freaks out that you can tell he knows he messed up.
He's going to shoot him anyway. It
even
doesn't matter.
The National Review even said that was murder.
Yeah, that was murder.
Yeah.
The new thing
for
about
the NRA to say something.
You know what? I'm watching Hispanic cops kill black people. I'm watching white cops kill black people. I think I've even seen a few black cops kill black people. I think.
Oh yeah, they know different. Believe me, I know.
It's really sad, but I think I think people are just joining crazy ass, sick, and demented sickos that want to kill people are joining to be police officers.
Well, yeah, they did a study and they actually found that it was a whole article just about how all of these white supremacist organizations and the KKK and all the militia groups and all of the skinhead groups and all them, their plan was to go and infiltrate all the police departments across the country. That way they could implement their agenda from within the police departments. It was a big scandal thing. And everyone was tweeting out links to the article, duh, because it's kind of obvious. If you actually go and ever speak to cops in a rural area, it's very obvious.
I can say I have. My youngest half sister is now dating a North Carolina state trooper. Yay. And this guy, let me tell you, he would tell you. He doesn't think he's racist in the least bit.
Wow.
I don't see them. They live 3 hours away, but the few times that I have and he's telling stories, or my sister would relay stories to me, it was always it's just dripping with racism.
They don't even know it, Kelly.
Yeah, they have no clue. My friend Cam, his mom's a judge and his dad's a cop. He has no clue whenever he talks about that kind of stuff. He thinks that he's not racist at all. But whenever he repeats all of the union, the police union talking points word for word, and he's just completely been brainwashed into believing the police are the victims and in all of this, and that the people are gunning for them, and that the police need to defend themselves, and he was trying to say that it was Tamir Rice's fault for being out with the gun, or if it's his mom's fault for not teaching him, and blah 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 blah. Even though Ohio is an open carry state.
All you have to do is in any of those scenarios, replace that kid with a white kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Replace those people in Philando's car with white people, and you tell me that would happen that way. When I watched that dash cam video, obviously the worst part was that Philando was shot.
Oh, God.
But the little girl runs out. Did you guys watch that?
Yes.
Awful.
I know, it just
and then after he shot Philando 7 times, he continues to hold a gun on him and his girlfriend, saying that they can't move. He doesn't call for help. Doesn't call an ambulance. Doesn't help him. Doesn't help try to stop the bleeding. He points a gun at him while screaming "fuck" as loud as he can over and over and over again.
7 times. What in the hell? But the other thing that I noticed, so the poor little girl runs out the back door, and then they're they get the girlfriend out.
Yeah.
And she's out and she's got her hands up and they're, aiming at her. No, you just killed her boyfriend. If you just imagine that being a white couple and that woman being treated that way.
You just killed that little girl's dad.
It just wouldn't happen.
And the other thing that it's hard for me to even talk about or watch it because it gets me. For 2 days after I watched that, I could barely function. It's because it just gets you in that headspace of what kind of world we live in. Mm-hmm. And you've got this little 4-year-old girl telling her mom, "Mommy, don't cry, don't scream."
Oh God, that part. In the cop car when they were in the
telling her, "Mommy, I'll take care of you. Yeah. I'll keep you safe." I can't. It's I can't believe that we're still doing this kind of stuff, that these things still happen in the world. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, as you know, and it's weird because I've lived here and then I've lived on the West Coast and I've seen the differences and how it is and, different places. But I really get so sick of the racist bullshit. I can't handle it because I have friends of every color, every religion, and everything in between. And it's just, that's not what, God, I can barely talk about it because it just gets me so much. I get so tired of hearing dumb white Bubba guys talking about them people and you know how they are. And it's just, I'm like, yeah, how about you people? How about how the way you are? You know, it's like they have this, even if they don't think they're a racist, there's still this underlying thing where they really do believe that they're a little bit better than everyone else. Mm-hmm. They really do. But what else are they supposed to think or be? I mean, you know, white men in this country have every privilege at birth, sexual, racial, economic. They've got all the privileges. So of course, you know, they're gonna
well, that's the thing is, like, my family, I always run into my uncle and my dad and my aunt saying, well, why didn't they just do what the cop told them to do? And it's like, that didn't work for Philando Castile. That didn't work for Terrence Crutcher. That didn't work for countless other people. I mean, 3 people a day in the United States, 3 people a day are murdered by police. So that's 1,200 people a year. And the FBI, which is a nonpartisan pro-police organization, have come out and said that over 90% of shootings done by police are not justified in any way whatsoever.
Right. I don't know if you heard about a case in Philadelphia, but it went worldwide. It was the Puerto Rican Day Parade. A Spanish woman and a black cop. Somebody had threw a bottle of water at the cop. It wasn't the woman.
Yes.
He turned around and sucker punched her.
Yes, I heard that.
And he got off. Even the mayor said he needs to lose his job. And he got his job back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I saw the video that you're talking about. That was horrible.
My wife...
Like, she went down.
My wife...
She wasn't even from this area. She said she's never coming back.
I don't blame her. Crazy.
Yeah, so police just
let's go to Canada.
My wife worked with can't think of his name now. The co-host of a Democracy Now.
Oh, Juan Gonzalez.
Yeah, she worked with Juan Gonzalez back in like 70s, 80s. On a little Puerto Rican newspaper and in Philly. And the Philly cops used to go around the neighborhood. They'd just pick somebody up and they'd toss them in the trunk of the car and drive them around the neighborhood.
Oh my God.
Philly cops, I mean, you know, hell's bells. They burned up, they burned up a city block, you know. They bombed people, you know. I mean,
MOVE members.
I was amazed. That's why I was so freaking amazed when I went to Philly and it was so calm during the convention. Because I really did expect it to be hot and heavy in Philly at the convention. And I got to say, the Philly cops were some of the best cops for crowd control I've seen in a while, you know.
Hey, James, where are you going to?
Portland used to be that way, and now Portland isn't that way because the new mayor came in and everything. Oh, I got to do this real quick for Cascadian.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Pine tree.
Yeah, it was particularly disgusting what they did to the MOVE members. Those people were peaceful, and they had some strange beliefs, but they were all these life-centered beliefs where they wouldn't kill anything. They took stray animals in. I think that was their original excuse for going in there, was like some kind of sanitation issue, or maybe it was a child welfare issue.
Yeah, well, what happened was MOVE did the Black Panther thing and armed themselves. They were sort of an anarcho sort of commune kind of thing, and you know they believed in black liberation and you know they were a pain in the ass to live in their neighborhood. But
are you talking about John Africa and MOVE?
Yeah, but it wasn't like they were like they were a serious threat of violence against other people, so much as they were just, they were black people with guns. It was the 19 whatever it was 70s, 80s. I can't remember when Mayor Good was in, but the basically they uh, like he says, they did the health and welfare thing, and and went in to move them out, and that's what happened, and it's no different from like the Randy, if you want to look at it this way, all the white people that talk about Randy Weaver, it's no different. In fact, it's less of a threat than Randy Weaver, because they actually, Randy Weaver, they were actually kind of exchanging fire before that. Cheryl will remember WHAT in Philadelphia probably. In remote Africa, I used to have a show on there.
Yeah.
Hey, James, were you going to say something when we were talking before about?
No, I'm listening. I'll chime in.
Okay, I guess I'm not really moderating anymore, or I was, but you seemed like you were trying to jump in a bit ago.
Oh no, if I go like this, and I'm looking down, that means I'm looking to post something.
Oh, okay.
If I go like this, if I'm going like this,
you'll let us know. Okay.
I really want to
like
tell
that.
a personal
If I'm doing
story.
that.
I really want to tell a personal story that happened to me with my son. My son had a Marauder. I never wanted him to get it, but my husband insisted he really likes it and wanted it. It was a nice car, but I said it looked like a car that black men would be profiled in. So all of a sudden, my son, I was calling him one night. I'll never forget, the Flyers was in the playoff. He didn't text me back. He didn't call me back. His friends didn't call me back. And I'm like, something is wrong. My mother is kicking in. And he said, just go to sleep and relax. So I went to sleep, and then we get a call 3 o'clock in the morning. They got my son and his friends down at homicide.
Oh, God.
I'm like, homicide? I know they didn't kill nobody. Coming to find out, the guy had the same kind of car as my son. And they found his body, but his car was missing. And they had to wait for the detective to wake him up because he had just went to bed. And his wife said, I'm not waking him up. So eventually he woke up, and when he came down there, he said, these kids didn't do this. Why they bring him down here anyway? So they let him go. And then after that, my husband come home. The cops was following him at home, running up on him with guns drawn. And then like, well, you have the VIN number of his vehicle. Why you keep stopping him? I told my husband, just get rid of the car. We got rid of the car. Because I didn't know what was going to happen.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, it's like we hear stories about, you have to tell your son, was it, I can't remember her name. She used to be on news quite a bit. And she said, she would tell her son not to wear a hoodie. You have to have those talks that we white folk don't have to have, which is just, I don't know.
Well, I'll chime in if that's okay. So I'm brown, but when I was younger, I had some experiences in Hawaii. When I came, because I was born in Newport Beach, and then I lived in California for a long time, Texas, Alaska, Washington a lot. I lived in Kent, Washington for a while. I was stationed up in Bremerton. But anyway, so I went to Hawaii, and I was Polynesian looking, at a good tan, surfing the whole 9 yards. And then I started talking, and they go, "You're a haole." And I got shit because of the way I talked. So I learned how to talk the language, but the fights, me and my brother probably fought an entire island, it seemed like.
You're a what? What did they call you, dude?
Haole. Haole means foreigner. The real word is what it actually means. Haole. It means foreigner. That's the real meaning of haole in Hawaii. But if the local guy says you're a haole, then you better get ready because he doesn't. There's something about that. So there's definitely racism over there. And then I had to go through it in Canada when I was a kid because I wasn't an Indian. They thought I was an Indian, so I got beat up by Indians. And then when I went to Texas, that was even worse.
Where in Canada?
Vancouver, BC. Stanley Gate, Lionsgate Park, right by there, Stanley Bridge. And then I went to Texas and I got beat up. But I'm just saying that this is so insane. The racism, the hate, the bigotry. It just
doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense. It's like the dumbest. It's the dumbest thing. I mean, that's why aliens don't come here. They just not ready for it.
Well, it's very easily
no intelligent life here.
It's very easily explained in that, I remember reading a long time ago that in the South, the poor white Irish people were the lowest of the low. And that, they were just happy to have someone else that they could go, oh, they're lower than I am. So I think it comes out of people that are, that's why you see it more so in like very poor white rural areas because they've got it so bad. But as long as they can have somebody that they in their heads consider below them, it's very
it's also so that they can feel like they've got someone to blame for why they've got it so bad. And honestly, that's a massive manipulation of the ruling class again and again. They love to turn two people that are both kind of down on their luck against each other in any way they can, whether through religion, race, it doesn't matter. They'll do it. They absolutely do it.
Did you guys watch those interviews with Killer Mike with Bernie during the
Yes, I did.
I did.
Yeah, they talked about that. I thought that was just really cool the way. They talked about exactly that it was just to divide us up,
It always is. It's such a huge thing. I know that, as a kid, me and my mom always has been nervous of police. It's not because, I don't know, it's just because you don't know what they're going to do. There's this unpredictability, but I can remember from, a very young age, anytime a cop was either following us in our car or driving a little close, she'd get really nervous. She'd get really tense. And I think that, there's a lot of course, sexual assault that happens from police. There was a story I read maybe a year ago where it was a young black girl who had called the cops to her home. She had had a break-in, and it was a black police officer that came to her house, and he raped her. And basically told her that no one's ever going to listen to you because you're poor, you're a single mom, no one cares about you. And so she fought the guy. She went to the hospital, had the rape kit done, and she said it nearly killed her. She said she was so depressed. She was going back to school. She was a single mom with a little kid, and she said it nearly did her in. But after about 2 years, she got the guy put away, because it proved that it was him. But I'm telling you what, that takes some strength. And a lot of people won't go through that, to have justice done.
Well, there definitely needs to be some better, psychological screening of our police, because it does seem to attract a certain type.
There needs to be any at all. Right now we have nothing. Like the guy who shot Tamir Rice was let go from another police department because they said he was unable to emotionally function. How much worse can you be if you can't function emotionally? That's like, what does that even mean? That's a ridiculously awful thing to say about a person. And then you give that person a gun and expect them to function. It's like if they would have just done the proper background check, they would have known he was lying on his application anyway, and that he was already fired from another police department. It's like the people who are hiring at these police departments don't do any sort of checking.
They go by those psychological testing. Because I know people I grew up with, and I'm like, they a cop? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
They were crazy.
Yeah.
They on the force, and they passed the
Yep.
psychological test.
Those tests are
You know?
completely unreliable. They're notoriously unreliable.
I've got my brother has a buddy, right? And he became a cop. Man, and he would just straight up say, he'd be like, the reason I'm a cop is because basically I like to mix it up.
Yeah.
Like, I love the aggression is what his pet phrase was. I love the aggression. I love the aggression. Like, Tommy, you're a psycho, man. You shouldn't be a cop.
Yeah. They just like watching people be fearful of them, I guess.
Well, he wasn't a bad guy. I don't think Tommy wasn't racist and he wasn't a mean guy, but like he just loved violence and he loved the opportunity to commit it. I don't think he would do it unjustly. I mean, I never saw him at his job, but you know, still.
He had a linebacker mentality.
Yeah.
I had a roommate in Denver, and we lived up on Capitol Hill, which is known in Denver. I wonder sometimes too if they didn't follow this, but they followed my buddy. He's drunk and he's coming home, and I wasn't there. They followed him like through the security door at the front door because they were following him home through the security door, walked through behind him, came in, and followed him in the apartment, beat the hell out of him in the apartment.
Shit.
You know, and it was in the 80s. There wasn't, it was, Denver cops were like any cops at that time. So, and that, cops are that way now. If they think they can, whoop on you, they will,
Yeah, I mean, this guy's dad was like the police boxing champion or something for one of the Detroit precincts or whatever. So from the time he was a little kid, he was raised up into this, and that's just the way he was. He is.
Detroit, huh? Now that's a very segregated place.
Oh yeah, it is. Like my dad, who was a hardcore racist, like he wouldn't go downtown at all.
Are you from Detroit?
Originally, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I kind of am too. My family's, yeah.
Well, I'm actually from north of Detroit, up by Mount Clemens and St. Clair Shores.
Oh, are you serious?
That's right across from Selfridge Air Force Base or Air National Guard Base.
St. Clair Shores. That's where my grandparents lived up until just a couple months ago.
Yep, my grandpa founded the St. Clair Shores Yacht Club.
Are you serious?
Yeah, yep.
Oh my God.
One of the founders.
That's so strange. But you're not in Detroit area now.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, I want to ask you guys a question. How many hours in Ohio do you think that you need to have of training to become a cosmetologist?
Oh,
more hours than a police officer.
Way more than
probably like 1,000 hours or something to get a cosmetology license.
Close. It's 800 for a cosmetology. Now guess
and
how
it's
much.
Probably.
Now guess how many for a police officer. Guess how many hours of training?
6 weeks.
48 or 50.
Well, it's higher than that, but it's still too low. It's 579.
I was gonna say about 5.
Oh my God.
Still low.
It's way lower than a cosmetologist. You need more training to know how to cut someone's hair than you do to know how to hold a gun.
Okay, you need
and
to.
And I'm sure that counts in the time that they're rookies and they're sitting in a cop car with that counts in like a short apprentice period kind of thing. Yeah. I'm sure.
You need to tweet.
So they actually have guns and are out on the streets before that 500 hours is over.
But look, a
I've worked in some salons. Some women can get mad about their hair.
Oh God.
We gotta at least look good.
Hell, they used to train people in jails. They used to train them cut hair and stuff.
Yeah.
And in a lot of states, you can't cut hair if you had a felony.
Yep. Because those scissors are sharp. Very sharp.
Yeah.
Well,
but they'll get rid of a assault and battery charge or something to get you on the cop force if they like you.
So I found out
disappear.
this jerk of a cop or state trooper that my half sister's dating. I clarify that because have very different backgrounds and stuff, and thinking. But anyway, this jerk that she's dating during the primary, he thought it would be funny to sign me up for the Trump appearance that was in like Hickory, North Carolina. So he took my email address. Yeah, as cop and signed me. I was so mad. And so I decided to do some digging on him, and I could never figure out why, but he did have 3 different behavioral, I can't remember what you call it exactly, but
assessments,
complaints against him.
Okay.
So I mean, I wouldn't want to be pulled over by him. I mean, he's a really cocky, jerk, and anyway.
No, the only time I got pulled over.
Yvette Carnell?
Yvette Carnell?
Yeah, she's really good. Because she did a show Wednesday night on Philando Castile's death, and there was a podcast out about different stops that cop did. And it was a woman he had stopped, and she was so nervous. She moved out of the area that she was stopped in. He stopped her for no reason. Ain't gonna tell her this stop will work depending on your attitude. And he towed her car for no reason. I don't know why he towed it, got it towed. But he gonna say she called me a racist. Don't she see the color of my skin? I'm brown, I'm Mexican.
So I think another problem we have is, and this it is a separate issue really than the being pulled over. But as far as the jury, I want to know who are these stupid people that could look at this case and let this person off, Yanez. But the whole issue about jury selection, I remember it was a big topic when Casey Anthony was acquitted, or whatever. But they were saying that, so many people try to get out of jury duty. And that really it's your responsibility as a citizen to do. And I don't know how to put this. I remember one person analyzed it that basically you end up with a less educated jury a lot of the time.
Well, you can have an educated jury. I was on a jury trial one time where it was an attorney on there, and he got the people mixed up in the case. When we was deliberating, I'm like, what the hell is he talking about?
Yeah, well, not to say that educated is always better, but it was just kind of you gotta
use common sense.
Yeah, but people that might be more susceptible to, a wily attorney that can sort of twist things around and make them be, that, I don't know. That was one assessment, just that sometimes maybe people.
Then another thing you could think of, I hate this bringing race, but white people grow up in certain areas and they don't see things from black people too.
Where was that trial?
That was in Philadelphia, and then I was just on a 10-day trial. They get me again for jury duty. I always get put on the jury. But I was on a 10-day trial with 2 former Philadelphia police officers that were stealing utilities.
Yeah.
There was 2 African American. Well, one was Spanish, and the other one was African American woman. And
yeah, I hate being. Go ahead.
And I'm like, I thought this was going to be short and quick. Because it was simple. They were stealing the electricity. You saw the bill. And we had this one woman on the jury was a holdout. And I had to bring my utility bill in. Me and this other woman, we was like, look, she was the holdout. find them guilty. She didn't want to find them guilty. She said, I've never been in my basement all my life. I lived there 30 years. I'm like, how the hell you ain't been in your basement for 30 years?
Yeah, I've been thrown out of juries before. Or they typically don't want engineers. They want if there's any kind of expertise that they think is going to be needed, they want it to come strictly through testimony. They don't want if your area of expertise is anywhere near involved where it could be used in the case, they do not want you on the jury.
I'll need to remember that for next time, because when I went to jury duty call, I'm like the only Asian guy there that speaks English well, and so I knew I was gonna be a shoo-in, and that sucked. But anyway, so I did get selected as a juror, and yeah, we had a holdout too. And basically, this guy, I mean, it was everyone else in jury was pretty much set, and then this guy just held out for like a week, and then he finally gave in. But it's just the belief that he thought the person, the defendant, was just he just liked him, so he didn't want him to get found guilty, so he held out. And it's just a belief. There was no rationale behind it, because everyone was trying to say
he probably knew him.
Yeah, maybe.
But people lie.
Yep. Yeah, he could have been
on the jury.
He could have been bought too. Who knows? But
yeah, because the last jury I was on, when I saw the lawyers before we went into the courtroom, and I saw the attorneys, I'm like, oh my God, these are high-priced attorneys. I hope I don't get on this case. I hope I don't get on this case. So both of them, $50,000 a top for both. They will talk to you only.
I've never been selected for jury duty. All you got to do is tell them you're a psychic, and they don't want to touch you.
No, and you got to show proof of that here in Philly. They ain't going for that, because they will lock you up.
Well, I'm an astrologer. I mean, I really am an astrologer. So no, they didn't really. They were fascinated by it. They questioned me, and did all the things. It was actually a murder trial that one was for.
I don't want to be on something like that.
They kept me there all day, but yeah, ultimately they didn't pick me.
So I'm actually hoping to get picked. Well, actually, no, I shouldn't say I'm hoping, but like I'm hoping that someone like I know gets picked for the jury trial for. There was a murder case in my town, and whenever I was in middle school, there was a kid who would bully me all the time. And one time while I was sleeping on the bus, he shoved a pencil down my throat. And then the next week, he went and told a lie to the principal and got me suspended, even though we were in there the week before for him shoving a pencil down my throat. And he also pushed me in front of the school bus one time. And luckily, my friend broke his finger trying to pull me out of the way, and I was fine. But this kid ended up not ever getting in trouble. Yeah. And he ended up my grandparents' best friend's niece. He murdered her because she was dating his dad, and he stabbed her to death in their trailer and tried to and they live out in this little village in like bumfuck nowhere, Ohio, where there's not anyone black that lives out there. It's a solely white population, like the most country people you can find. And he tried to blame it on a black person. And they found his DNA evidence all over her, and they found his DNA evidence on a gun that was left way out in the woods. And so
like Susan Smith.
And they also found out that he was the one who torched her parents' barn the year before, because they found arson equipment at the trailer whenever they were doing the murder investigation. And so I'm hoping now that someone I know that I've told that story to will be put on the jury, and they'll find him guilty and put him in somewhere where he can be watched 24/7.
Yeah, that sounds like the Susan Smith case.
Yes.
So a little bit off tangent, but Nico House kind of sides with being Bill Cosby a little bit, and one of his reasonings was, majority of the people that were saying he raped them was that they were white. And around that time, when I guess Bill Cosby was in his peak, any white woman, being afraid of calling out a black man that raped them, doesn't seem very likely, because all it takes is any white woman to say a black person raped them.
That's a weird, I don't know.
Not Bill Cosby. I'm sorry, not Bill Cosby.
I can't believe that.
Not since the 60s.
He was a sexual predator. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby. Yeah, Bill Cosby's been a huge star since the 1960s. Yeah. You know, it wasn't like he was ever, you know, in my lifetime, Bill Cosby was never a nobody.
Yeah.
Right. So the idea, and he was the kind of guy that, no. Women.
Look, here's my take on it. Is the way he raped them was by using a pill to knock them out. So when you wake up and you realize and you don't have memory of it, you can't really say you were raped or not. I mean, you kind of know, but you don't know who it was because you were just out, right? So it makes it hard to accuse
He's like the Max Factor guy.
The what?
He's like the Max Factor guy, the heir that was drugging the women and raping them, and I think, I forgot that guy name, the bounty hunter that caught him over in Mexico.
Huh. I don't know.
The Max Factor guy. Yeah.
Well, there was Wilt. You guys know about Wilt Chamberlain, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody? Do you, Kelly? You ever heard of Wilt Chamberlain?
I don't know much about that. I mean, I know the name, but I don't know what you're.
Okay, Wilt Chamberlain was a basketball player back in the 60s and the 70s, very popular.
Yeah.
And he had sex with 1,000 women.
Well, at least he claimed to.
Well, he claims he did.
Yeah.
But the thing is, did they all say okay, or was he drugging those girls?
No,
he was a basketball star. He was like the best basketball player.
And he's 7'8", 4 or something, 7'6". I don't know, but yeah.
Well, guys talking about their sexual exploits is kind of nothing new. I mean, that's that's.
Was he the one that was HIV positive?
No, that was Magic Johnson.
Oh.
Okay, so the thing is, my point is, I think what Jamal was kind of thinking of is.
No, that was Nico.
Oh, Nico. Okay, sorry. I think Nico was kind of thinking, well, maybe because of his stardom, he got a little this, got a little that. But when you have all these girls, and it's like 38 or 40, or I don't know, just a god awful amount, that are just coming out now, or recently, or probably were scared to do it in the past, but they're coming out. And when you have that many women saying that you did something like that, then if just one is correct, then you're done.
Exactly, dude. That's always been my point, is that, like, you know, I'm sure a few of these women are opportunists.
Yeah.
Sure they are. But all it takes is one.
One.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they did it one time, then that's it.
It doesn't excuse
it. And you have to remember, you guys got to remember the times. Women were not believed until like 2000, 1990. You know, cops didn't believe women, and, you know, it was only like down south that you could get cops to believe a woman, and it's only if a black man did it, you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you better have some, you know, hellacious proof to get a conviction.
Well, personally, I'd rather see.
Court, and the cops used to tell women, they'll say, you know, if you go to court, these guys are going to bring up all of your sexual history, and they're going to talk about this, and they're going to talk about that about you. And they make it sound as horrible as they can to keep you from bringing up. Exactly. Well, but I mean, they try to bring up your history, the victim's history, as you know, a reason not to file charges, because they'll talk. You know, they're gonna hit you up, and they're gonna do this and that. You know, so.
Well, I'd rather see
I would say, remember that Bill Cosby was a star. Cops didn't believe women. You know, remember, O.J. Simpson's wife got the hell beat out of her multiple times. And the cops knew about that, but O.J. Simpson come out, glad hand the cops, and they go away.
Well, I just think it's sick because, like, people like Bill Cosby and like Roger Ailes and Bill O'Reilly, there's a lot of people with money and fame, and they couldn't get a girl to sleep with them using their money or their name or their fame. They're so pathetic that they have to drug or you know, it's like it's not about that's all.
Yeah, sometimes
I'd rather see, you know, let's say 2 or 3 of these women are scammers. I'd rather see them get away with their scam than have like the 37 women that were raped not see justice. So whatever, just believe them all. You know what I'm saying? If you can prove one, treat the rest as if, you know, they're prosecutable.
Well, we have a rape culture. 1 out of every 5 girls in America, by the time she's 18, will either be raped or sexually abused. That's just the facts.
Well,
it's 1 out of 10 for boys. It's 1 out of 10 for boys. So if you're a woman and you never got sexually abused when you were growing up, you're very lucky. You're extremely lucky. College campuses are some of the worst. Women to this day, I mean, there's so many that never report anything because, yes, they don't want to go through having their history drug up. They don't want to deal with a trial. They don't want to go through all that, so they just don't say anything. The worst thing that you can do if you're raped is go take a shower, but that's usually what you want to do because you want to get it all off of you. But the damn last thing you should do is a shower. You've got to go and get that kit done. And then you've got places that don't have adequate amounts of those. It's a real problem.
Well, and even the kit, like this, they say that the amount of kits that have like turned in, there's like a 10-year backlog of thousands and thousands of kits that haven't been done that are like from 10 years ago. And it's just amazing at like how slow the process is. It's like there's girls that are waiting on results, like DNA results from a rape that happened, 12 years ago. It's just, gross.
And so few women will ever report it. And the thing that's crazy is a lot of people, and this is true for murder, it's true for rape, it's true for all kinds of assault, is we always think it's going to be some stranger who does it to you, but it's not. It's usually somebody that you know. I have definitely had my share of creepy guys trying stuff through the years. There was even a client of my astrology client who he tried to like grab me, and fortunately I was outside of my house and I was able to get away from him, but I cut off all communication because it felt scary and it felt like it was towing the line, and it's frightening. I will tell you, it is. There's nothing quite so awful as feeling like you're going to be in a situation when you get away or defend yourself or have somebody help you, especially if it's a really big guy and you can't physically power them.
At least half the girls that I've dated long term have said that they were molested when they were kids.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
It's rampant.
Yeah, it's out of control.
Hi, Stevie.
And I'm thinking about that actor Corey Feldman that was sexually assaulted in Hollywood. He talked about it. I read his book. It was really good.
Yeah, there's a big rampant Hollywood sex molestation rape thing, and some people don't want to talk about it because then they're just outed as a big liar or something. And that's the thing. The people who get raped, probably the ones, they're less likely to be believed when they're raped by someone who has high stature, like someone who's in a band that says, "Oh, I bang all these women. Why would I rape her?" Or some star college football player. He goes, "Oh,
the Youngstown thing. I remember when that happened, and the kid, the anonymous guy who released the footage to put all those football players away, he ended up getting sent to jail. That pissed me off because that guy should have been held up as a hero. The guy who hacked in and released the video of those Youngstown football players, or not Youngstown. What was it? Is it Zanesville? It was someplace in Ohio that's near me. Where
same thing.
And Danny Masterson, the guy that was Hyde on that '70s show. He is a Scientologist. 2 women have accused him of rape, and the Church of Scientology hushed it up. They've got, all the people that were in the room were Scientologists and stuff, and trust me, He's a star in Scientology. You want to see some lawyering? Wait till that trial comes up.
Those people have straight up slaves, dude. Like, Tom Cruise has all these people working for him for free. They won't, like, talk to him or speak with him or anything for fear of offending him. I've seen, like, a bunch of stuff on Scientology.
I would say this just to sort of, there's a woman named, she goes by Magoo, and she talks about Scientology. And I think she uses a real name now, but originally she was Magoo when she snuck online. And they actually install software so they can tell if you're looking up Scientology. Anyhow, she got in touch with a guy that was actually an anonymous guy. And she actually came out of Scientology because he treated her like a human, didn't treat her like she was a freak. And these people that are in Scientology that aren't like Tom Cruise or in the upper echelons, those people are victims of a cult. So, I mean, you know, you got to treat them that way. You know, I mean, it really is, you know, a thing where you gotta look at these people and you got to feel sorry for them, because they're anybody that is, they look for people that are susceptible or that were born into it, and the people that get in it, it's very easy for any cult to get a hold of you, but they made it an art, you know. So I that's why I want to just tell everybody, you know, don't make fun of these rank and file people that may be in Scientology, because you may be doing them a favor by speaking to them like a human being. You know what I mean? And trying to, you know, ease them into it or whatever. But don't try to, you know, get right in their face, because it's not going to work. It's like anybody. They're going to dig in. They're going to be proven right kind of thing.
Well, Leah Remini is exposed to Scientology. The actress.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So she's got a great show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to love her on King of Queens. I watched that show a lot growing up.
And guess what? She's coming on the new show on Channel 3 with the other actor. I forgot his name. They're booting the girl off. Kevin Can Wait or something like that.
Is that right?
Watching that. Huh?
Is that right? So she's going to get back on with the same guy then?
Yeah, they booting the girl off. They fired her. They bringing Leah Remini on there.
Awesome. Oh, that's gonna chap. Every time Leah Remini something good happens for her, that just makes me so happy, because I know it chaps saving Miss
Broken Carpenter, you're breaking up when you talk.
Oh, maybe it's on Dragon.
I'm so out of the loop with any like mainstream television shows. I never really was much of. I mean, I watched Cheers, but I mean, like in recent years, I just never watched that stuff. I watch selective things, you know, on demand. I don't know. The primetime shows, I'm always like, I have no idea. I mean, I know King of Queens, but just Kevin Can Wait. Okay, no, I don't know that.
Yeah, I don't watch cable anymore. I watch like Netflix and YouTube, and for the next month or so, I'll be watching Amazon Prime while it's free, and that's about it.
We should do TV series, like what's good, movies, whatever. I think we're gonna try to do that tomorrow with Bram and Copter or Gardner.
Oh,
sorry.
Cool. Yeah, lighten it up a little bit sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I like the show Power.
Was that Shirley?
I like the show Power.
Oh, never.
I can't remember. I think it's on Hulu. The Path with the guy from Breaking Bad, the young guy.
Yeah, the Aaron. What's his name?
Yeah, you want to, and that's a show about cults, but it's pretty freaking cool, man. It's like a drama about a potential. The Path.
The Path. Okay.
Yeah, I actually didn't get turned on to it till like the second season, and sat there and like just went through every show I could watch. Probably will rewatch them because
the two that stick in my mind is Stranger Things. If you guys haven't seen Stranger Things, watch Stranger Things. It's really good, and also the HBO one, Westworld.
Oh yeah,
that was really good.
That's
and
funny.
that the Path is on. That one's on Hulu.
Path, okay.
That's a Hulu original. So.
I know that Lee Camp loves Westworld, so I'm just gonna. It's another little thing from my hanging out in the bar for an hour.
Westworld was an old movie with Yul Brynner in it originally.
Yeah, that's the only one I've ever seen.
Me too.
So it was so weird. We were hanging out in this bar, and like one kid that worked there recognized him and came over, but like nobody knew like who Lee Camp was. It was really weird. But a couple ladies kind of near the end came over, and I could tell like Lee just looked like he was sick of talking about political stuff in general, and so I just kind of was like, do you ever get just sick of talking about all this? And he's like, yeah, that's when I just sit and watch Westworld for hours. So anyway,
Westworld is really well done. It's a little predictable, but anyways, if you haven't seen it, watch it.
How about Black Mirror? Has anyone been watching Black Mirror?
I only watched the first season, and I think I only watched the first episode of the second. I really haven't had time to watch it, but I've been
watching that and the Twin Peaks reboot.
Oh, I want to see. That's the thing.
I haven't seen that yet.
I want to watch it, but I want to watch the original Twin Peaks before I watch the new ones.
You're better off just waiting till it all comes out at once.
No, Ebon,
the episodes are going.
Twin Peaks is really cool. I like David Lynch, but I'm born on the same day as him, so there you go.
Yeah. Twin Peaks is a bizarro show.
Oh yeah, it's David Lynch. I mean, you can't go into it without realizing that.
Well, my favorite film is probably Inland Empire, which he did, I think, in the early 2000s.
Have you guys seen Billions?
Yeah, I watched that.
Yes, I love that show. I love that show. Axe is the bomb.
Yeah. The thing about that show is it
shows what's going on in Washington.
It shows you how people work at the highest levels.
Yes.
A hedge fund company, gazillionaire, and then a district attorney, a state attorney going after him in the battle, and all the I'd say the colluding, and then the I don't know, it just gets twisty, but it really kind of shows you where their minds are. These people that are high
even on committing murder.
Yeah, it's pretty. The writing is great. The storyline's pretty intense. Some of the stuff I don't even understand. It's just good acting.
Cause I'm like, when I saw when watching it, them committing murder, I'm thinking of Seth Rich.
Yeah, there's a few innuendos kind of pointing to, the crash of 2008. They bring up little points of Wall Street and how colluded they are. Yeah, they talk about things like that, and how House of Cards. It's similar to House of Cards.
House of Cards is so good.
House of Cards is really good. It kind of plays off of that.
Hillary was on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, during the.
Oh my God, she won't go away.
I know, no, this
was like fucking woods, Hillary.
This was like during the election or something, but she was like, "Oh, House of Cards is my favorite show."
It's basically her autobiography.
Oh,
and Homeland was Obama's favorite show. Homeland.
The show that I've really enjoyed on Netflix is Orange is the New Black, and I think that it's actually gotten better as it's gone along.
I tried. I couldn't get into that.
It's gotten better. I would say the last 2 seasons were probably better than all the beginning. But it's got some it's heavy. It gets really heavy about just the prison industrial complex. It gets into, free prison labor and the way that prisoners are treated, about how mentally ill people end up in prisons that shouldn't be there. I mean, there's just a lot of things in it.
Did you hear about a
Police
prison
brutality.
that charging the prisoners for staying there? I forgot where is that. I saw it on RT.
I don't know.
Oh, Santa Ana. Santa Ana, California. You can pay extra money to have a private room or have extra, have good food, or you can pay extra money. So if you're rich in California and Santa Ana, you can sit in jail, and they're treating it like it's like it's like the difference between going to the clinic and going to the Mayo Center kind of thing,
How about Veep? Now, I like Veep.
I watched a little bit, and I didn't really stick around.
It's short. See, I just can't get sucked into. I get distracted. I'll be on my laptop reading, news stuff while I watched, and I just can't get that sucked in. So 30-minute things are better. But I love the way that, clearly the writers of Veep, there are so many examples where they definitely wrote Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character as Hillary. There's so many. There are lines where she's like, "I'm the first woman president." Just stuff like that. And then, where she tweets, like in a conference or something, and I think she ends up tweeting in the middle of something really important, and it was all over the news, and they made it into a China hacked into her Twitter account. So it was like, yeah, okay, that they're definitely ripping on Hillary in there. So that I find funny, and the one-liners in it are pretty good.
On Netflix, you can see The People versus O.J. Simpson, and if you haven't seen that series, that's a good one.
It is really good.
Okay, so go ahead, Snark. We can't hear you. Can you talk louder?
Yeah. Turn on Amazon Prime.
Oh, you Turn Washington Spies?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. I've been watching that lately. It's my favorite show because I'm really into the Revolutionary War. I grew up living in with the town where the first revolutionary, where the first white settlement in Ohio was. It was Schönbrunn, and I lived near there, and I was in the outdoor drama Trumpet in the Land for 5 years, which is all about the massacre of the Native Americans and the Moravian Indians by the Americans.
What's it called?
It's called Trumpet in the Land. It's an outdoor drama at an amphitheater. It's dying because not a lot of people can afford to go see it anymore, and that means they have to raise the price, which means less people come see it. And they're kind of stuck in this dying thing with less and less people showing up every year. And also, it kind of is bad because since it's isolated and no people go see it, they don't really realize how offensive the show is, because the show has a really great message, but whenever they do it, they can't find Native American actors, so they have college kids from all over the country come and act, and they wear what they call TD, or Texas dirt, and it's iron oxide rust powder that they wear as makeup to turn themselves brown to make them look like Native Americans. So it's Native American blackface. And it's nobody realizes how offensive it is.
Documentary now is also on Netflix. It's Fred Armisen and Bill Hader, and it's like a comedy show where they do every episode is a different documentary. So they did one.
You're kind of breaking up again. Broken Carpenter.
Have you guys seen? The
best one I saw was the one where they act like they're vice reporters, and they're going to the Middle East or something. It's going to be really radical, and they keep on sending reporters, and then keep on getting killed. You have to watch it to see it.
So, what is that one?
What's your
creating a drug gig? That's it.
Garden, go ahead.
Snork, what's your?
Hold on, let Garden go, and then you can go next, Sheryl.
I was going to ask Snork who his favorite character was on Turn.
Trying to remember the name of the guy.
Simcoe.
Oh my gosh,
that's my favorite one.
Simcoe.
It's out of control.
It's amazing though, because the real General Simcoe in real life was nothing like that character. Real General Simcoe was very well put together and well thought out and very solemn, and he ended up he was the founder of Toronto in reality.
I have a coworker that's somewhat Simcoe-like with a somewhat Simcoe-like name.
Somewhat Simcoe-like.
That's terrifying. I don't know if I'd want to work there anymore.
Nope.
All right, go ahead, Shirley. What were you gonna say?
I was asking if anyone watched Shameless.
Shameless is so good too. I love Shameless.
Yes, it is. It's awesome. One of the characters not coming back.
No.
Do we still have the Norwegian online?
Troxney, yes, maybe.
Yeah, I'm here.
Did you see Lilyhammer? Did they show it in Norway?
I didn't see it, but yeah, they show it there.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Yeah. So,
by the way, I heard you guys talking about prison labor. We have that here too. Basically, they get the choice between studying, prison labor, or kitchen duty, those kind of stuff. Thanks.
I don't know that American prisoners are given those kind of choices. Maybe I don't know. Probably depends on the state or their crime or whatever it is. But no, I was talking about Orange is the New Black because it really gets into a lot of that kind of thing about the prison system and how it fails on so many counts. And you've got people in there that have mental illnesses that shouldn't even really be jailed.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be in a jail, and there's no rehabilitation going on. And it's huge here. It's a massive problem.
The big one here in Iowa is all of the state furniture, chairs, desks, office. Yeah. That's all done by the prisoners, and they all do a fantastic job. But I meant the show Lilyhammer, and it's spelled wrong. It's not spelled like the town in Norway.
Right.
But it's a mobster. I don't watch a lot of mob movies, but this mobster wants to go somewhere where nobody would think he would go, and he thought everybody's going to think I'm going to go to an island somewhere. So send me to that place in Norway where they had the Olympics. And so they send him to Lillehammer. And so it's half in Norwegian, half English. But after you hear just a little bit of it, you don't even need the subtitles anymore. And excellent show, well put together. I think it only lasts 2 or 3 seasons. But really original show. They didn't steal anybody else's plots.
Did anyone here used to watch Lost?
Mm-hmm. No, I couldn't watch Lost because I hate J.J. Abrams too much.
I hate J.J. Abrams too, man.
There's never a time for it, but yeah, I would like to see it.
We did, but it got too. I don't remember what season it was. We watched it like binge watching it, and at some point it just went too far. It was just too convoluted. I was like, oh, this has gotten too. It got too sci-fi for me. Like, I loved X-Files, but I can't go more sci-fi than that. Like, it just got a little weird.
J.J. Abrams is the master of putting a very nice, pretty little box together with nothing inside of it.
Yes, and he's really good at asking questions and making questions out of the questions out of the questions.
Yeah, once you find an answer, it just
anything.
has more questions once you find an answer.
Yes.
Yeah, and that just lost me.
Yeah, it was like the same thing with Fringe. Like I was into like the first 2 seasons, and then like by the third one, I was like, this isn't going to go anywhere, is it? And then by the end of it, I was like, what the fuck?
Stevie.
I wasted so much time.
Yeah. Stevie, did you notice, like, after the first 2 seasons, it just kind of changed totally? Like, the whole point of, like, her husband, that just kind of went away. Remember? Because her husband was trying to kill her in the first episode? And
I barely remember anything from Fringe. It's been so long ago.
I liked the first season of Fringe, and then they took away digital TV, and I didn't have a converter box, and I lost track, and now I still have to go back and catch up on it all. But I loved the parts I saw. Lost, I never saw because I thought it was a reality show, and by the time I found out it wasn't a reality show and it was a series, it was too far to get into it.
Yeah, so if you want to watch something that only lasted one season, but it was kind of good, there's some
Firefly.
Well, Firefly, of course, but it's kind of like
Dark Matter, like Firefly.
It's kind of like Lost in a way. It's called Siberia, and it's kind of like a reality show that the people who are in it thought they were in a reality show, but things go wrong, and it's all in Siberia, and so they find out that the things that are happening there isn't part of the show. Some of them still think it's part of the show. It's really not like super well done if you kind of get rid of some of these technicalities, like, which is obviously bad, but just if you stick around and you watch it, it's pretty good. It's kind of like the cult following. Everyone wants a season 2 to find out what happened.
It kind of sounds like Tropic Thunder, like, you know, like they're in it, but they don't really realize it.
Yeah, because I mean,
sorry, James, was that a joke about being the Joey in the room? Did you guys see his thing he put up?
Yeah, there was another show. I almost forgot about it. I think it lasted 2 seasons. It's from Ireland, I think, and it's called Misfits. Misfits, and it's about people that are forced to do community service, and it gets stranger every episode. Most original murder by banana I've ever seen, and but it's called Misfit, and it's on Hulu, and it's a sleeper. I mean, it was a really good series, a real good binge watcher.
That reminds me of Fargo. Really find that funny.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of unusual deaths in Misfits.
Oh, what's that one? It's not Pushing Daisies, although that's a good one too. But he did the same one. Dead Like Me. It was 2 seasons. Both shows were only 2 seasons long, but they were so good.
Misfits is almost like if Black Mirror had a plot.
I just love The Walking Dead.
I read all the graphic novels, though I'd never watched the series.
I'm way behind on Walking Dead. I've seen like
that is so good. You got that Negan on there.
Someone's breathing. I think that's you, Traction.
Sorry.
Oh.
All right. Well, you know what? We should call it a night. We should do a same here, Ariel.
So before you go, dude, like, what is this plan for tomorrow night? How is this gonna work?
Up to you. I think we should just do one topic. We could either do Dune or go into just sci-fi in general. Because I think you, me, and Bram have kind of the same tastes, I guess, in sci-fi. And whoever is into sci-fi stuff, we could have them join in. But we just
sci-fi. Woo! Have you guys ever read The Moon is a Harsh Mistress?
Long time ago, Robert Heinlein.
That's a great book. I love that one. I read it a couple like 2 years ago, and it's really good.
So I might have.
He bombs him, you the bomb.
Oh, thanks, Shirley. You are too. I mean, I'm glad you guys hear it. Basically, it's just me talking. If it wasn't for you guys, so.
Well, this sci-fi. Have you guys seen the new sci-fi show called The Expanse?
Yes.
It is by far the most realistic space travel show ever created.
I'll take a look. Cause
it is really good. It's probably the best thing to ever come from the Sci-Fi Channel, honestly.
Yeah. Well, what about Battlestar Galactica? Wasn't that on Sci-Fi?
That was an awesome show.
Yeah.
Battlestar Galactica was probably number 1, but Expanse might overtake it someday.
Okay, I'll take a look.
Ebon, I'll have Michael come on tomorrow night.
Okay, sure. If he wants to talk, that'd be good.
Well, he's into all this stuff.
Yeah. We'll be geeking out on so much sci-fi stuff, and then we'll probably.
Have you read William Gibson stuff?
No, actually, I tried. I just never really got into William Gibson stuff.
Okay.
But like, I know a lot of people love him.
Anyway, yeah, he would probably
I
love
think
that.
I think I'm gonna end up rewatching Point of Order right after this. So
I'm gonna go watch that now too.
it's a kick. Hey, trust me. When you watch it and you hear what these people are, well, really, you should do that, and then you watch. See if you can find some of the old footage of them questioning like producers and stuff. Oh, that's another great movie. It's got what's his face from Breaking Bad in it. Trumbo. Watch the movie Trumbo. It's about people that were in communists or socialists during the
That's what you typed
period.
At me, Ebon.
What's that?
Ebon, that's what you typed at me. It was a typo. You said Trumbo.
Trumbo? Oh, I don't remember.
Oh, okay, never mind.
It's a cool movie. There's a great scene. The best scene is when Trumbo and this guy that he's handing out pamphlets outside of some Hollywood event, and John Wayne comes up to him and questions his Americanism, and he says, "Well, let me see. I was stationed in Europe. He was stationed over in Japan, and I think he was also in Europe. And where were you? Where were you, Duke? Where were you during the war?" And that shut him right the. It's a great scene. It's worth watching the whole movie just for that one fucking.
Yeah,
scene.
and I love Bryan Cranston. He's a great actor.
Yeah.
Bryan Cranston is the best. Like that's why I want to watch the new movie All the Way where he plays LBJ. I've heard it's good.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Can you believe they're making another Aliens movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're making two. We'll talk about Aliens tomorrow.
Yeah, well, Bryan Cranston is also put out a movie that's on Netflix, or one of them. It's he's an undercover agent. That's another good one.
Okay.
It's like Oscar, I think.
All right, we'll talk more about movies another night, maybe on a weekend night. Good night, everybody.
Whatever.
Yeah, happy birthday, Yelis.
Good night.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Later.
Bye.